didn't consciously know this, but what I was doing was, it was like every day I was like, okay, how can I be a good mother? How can I be a good wife? How can I be? I'm going to church, check. I'm going to Bible study, check. I'm reading scripture, check. And what the Lord had to convict me of, and it was painful, Tamra, all the focus was on me. It was all
Mm.
about me. Was I being a good I being a good mother? Was
Mm.
I being a good mom? Was I being a good Christian? Was I being a good girl? And I got introduced to a kingdom perspective, and like everything shifted. It was like, this is about Jesus. This is about, I want this to be with Jesus, for Jesus. He wants to co-lead, and everything like this joy just opened up and freedom opened up. And I ended up researching, how do I spend every day seeking him first? And so, through a number of things, I won't go into a long tangent on it, but I have a 6-step morning practice that I do now every morning. And it's seeking him first and his word and vision and journaling and reading and calendaring, but it's all for him, with him. And I've heard you talk about the MITs, the most important tasks. And it really is, it's working from rest. It's saying no more striving, no more hustling. And I know people have different definitions of that. So I'm not trying to shame anybody, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
I
totally.
worked from that
Yeah,
performance-based place.
for sure.
And oh, you'll love this. So in scripture, we look at Genesis and we think, okay, you work and then you rest. But when you really look a little bit closer, and this is just a fun little twist on it, and anybody can take what they like from it. But God created Adam and Eve on the 6th day. And then what happened? They rested. So Adam and Eve's first day was resting.
That's good.
So it was like, oh my gosh. So
That's good.
start from a place of rest, right?
I
You
love
start
that.
from a place of rest. Rest is I surrender, I trust, and then from there we work. We don't work to rest, we work from rest.
I love that.
Isn't
I've
that
actually
awesome?
never heard that, Gail. I've
Really?
never heard, yeah, that's
Well,
really good.
and when you said that MIT is the most important task and having 3, Lord does not want, he doesn't, yes, his burden is light, but his burden is not intense and exhausting and overwhelming. Then we're just in self, right?
Completely. And, I
Yes.
think people can get that misconstrued, right? It's like, oh, that's easy for her to say. She's only got 3 things to do today. And it's like, no, y'all, like if you see my task list,
You've
it's
got
like,
100 things to do
there's
today.
so
Yeah.
many things. And that's one bracket, right? And then I do have all of my roles to be a good wife and a good mom and all of those things. But it's really my question to self at the end of the day
Yeah.
is, did I move the needle?
Mhm.
And knowing that it's not some pie chart that I'm moving the needle in, that it's an alignment factor of self. It's God always superseding every element of who I am. And if I am out of alignment, I'm going to feel it. And so are
Yeah.
you. It's like
Amen.
when you eat all the bad junk that day because you're stressed and overworked, and everything falls to pieces because of one element of alignment being wrong. You
Yes.
can't stack something, and it's like playing Jenga with your life, right? And like everything falls to pieces. But if you think of a wheel, a lot of people will do the wheel and they're like, oh, faith is over here and fitness is over here and friends and family are over here. And it's like, oh, if I don't touch that today, it's okay. But
Mhm.
for me, I don't think it's it's a non-negotiable. It is a non-negotiable
Yeah.
that every day an element of thyself connected to the image of God has to be something that we nurture.